Two people, same city, same neighborhood, same rent. One earns $95,000 a year and is two paychecks away from disaster. The other earns $52,000 and has 18 months of savings and invests 20% of every check. Same zip code. And the one earning half as much is 10 times more secure. This isn't a story about income. It's about a hidden link between your stuff and your money that almost nobody sees. Let me draw it for you. Now, before you assume this is about being cheap or living in an empty white room sitting on the floor, it's not. This is about something quieter and way more powerful: the hidden relationship between the stuff you own and the money you keep. Get this relationship right, and you can outsave people who earn double what you do. Get it wrong, and you can earn a fortune and still lie awake at night. I'm going to give you 10 rules that fix it at any income. Quick thing first, I'm a stick figure holding a marker, not your financial advisor. We clear? Good. Let's draw. Picture two apartments, same city, same neighborhood, basically the same rent. Apartment 1 belongs to someone earning $95,000 a year. Walk in, there's a 75-inch TV on the wall, a $4,000 leather sectional, and a kitchen stuffed with appliances, half of them still in the box. Closets overflowing, tags still hanging off clothes that have never been worn. The spare bedroom, not a bedroom anymore. It's a storage unit for stuff nobody's touched in years. And this person checks their bank balance with a knot in their stomach because they are two missed paychecks from a full-blown crisis. Now, apartment 2. This person earns $52,000. Walk in, and the first thing you notice is space. A simple couch, a normal TV, a kitchen with the tools they actually use, a closet of clothes they actually wear. The spare bedroom is, plot twist, a bedroom. And this person checks their balance with calm. They've got 18 months of expenses saved, and they invest 20% of every single paycheck. Same neighborhood. The one earning almost half as much is roughly 10 times more financially secure. Let that sink in. This is not a story about income. The first person isn't reckless as they don't gamble, no crazy vices. They just slowly, quietly built a life that demands every dollar they make just to keep running. The second person figured out a secret. Owning less doesn't mean living worse, it means living on purpose. So let me show you the rules they followed. And if you're thinking, okay, but I'm not that first person, here's the scary part. Almost nobody buys their way into that trap on purpose. There's no single bad decision. It's 1,000 reasonable sounding yeses. A slightly nicer couch, a gadget that was on sale, an upgrade everybody else got. Each one makes total sense in the moment, and then one day you look around, and every dollar you earn is already spoken for. Buy stuff you barely even notice anymore. That's why these rules matter. They're the guardrails that stop 1,000 small yeses from quietly building you a cage. Here's the reframe that changes everything. Everything you own costs money twice. The first cost is the obvious one, the number on the receipt. The second cost is the one almost nobody adds up, and it's often bigger than the first. It's got 4 parts. Part 1, storage. Your stuff lives somewhere, and that space isn't free. A treadmill needs about 20 square feet once you count walking room. In a lot of cities, that's $600 to $1,000 a year in what's basically rent to store a machine that mostly holds laundry. Part 2, maintenance. That boat in the driveway needs winterizing, cleaning, registration, insurance, repairs. A common rule of thumb is around 10% of its value every year. So a $30,000 boat can cost $3,000 a year just to own, even if it never gets wet. Part 3, mental energy. Every object you own takes a tiny slice of your attention. It has to be cleaned, organized, insured, worried about. Researchers have found that visual clutter actually raises cortisol, your stress hormone, and makes it harder to focus. Your stuff is quietly stressing you out in ways you can't even feel. Part 4. And this is the big one, opportunity cost. Every dollar locked inside your possessions is a dollar that isn't growing. $15,000 in home gym gear could have been $15,000 in index funds, which over 15 years might have grown to $40,000 or $50,000. You didn't just buy a home gym, you bought a home gym instead of a chunk of your future freedom. Add it all up, and a lot of stuff costs more to own than it costs to buy. The price tag is just the cover charge. The real bill runs the whole time you own it. Quick gut check before the rules. Look around the room you're in right now. I bet you can spot at least 5 things you forgot you even owned. Each one had a price tag, and each one is still charging you that second cost today, right now in space and attention and money that could have been growing. Once you start seeing that second cost, you can't unsee it. And honestly, that's a very good thing. Rule 1, calculate cost per use before you buy anything. Dead simple. Take the price and divide by how many times you'll realistically use it. That single number cuts through marketing, emotion, but it's on sale faster than anything else. A $200 jacket you wear twice, that's $100 every time you put it on. A $400 jacket you wear 200 times, $2 a wear. The expensive jacket is actually 10 times cheaper in the only way that matters. Flip it to the kitchen. That $300 gadget you'll use maybe twice a year is costing you $150 a use, an absurd price for chopping an onion in a slightly fancier way. But cost per use also tells you when spending more is genius. A $2,000 mattress you sleep on every night for 10 years, about 55 cents a night for the thing that controls your sleep, your mood, and your energy every single day. So the rule isn't buy cheap, it's buy things you'll use a lot and stop buying things you won't. Rule 2, the replacement test, and run it on stuff you already own. Walk through your home, look at each thing, and ask one honest question. If this disappeared right now, would I spend my own money to buy it again? Not, do I kind of like it? Would you actually pay for it twice? The fondue set you use once at a party? No. The bread maker hibernating in the cabinet? No. The clothes you haven't worn in 18 months? No, no, and no. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Most of what's in your home would fail this test. It's there through inertia, not intention. That stuff isn't neutral. It has negative value. Every minute you spend cleaning around it, organizing it, moving it, is a minute stolen from something that actually matters. So minimalists get ruthless. Sell what's worth money, donate what someone else can use, toss the rest. It feels uncomfortable for about a day. And then it feels like someone opened a window in your brain. Rooms feel bigger, decisions feel lighter. Rule 3, never upgrade out of boredom. This is the silent killer of high earners. Watch the pattern. The TV works perfectly, but the new model has slightly better contrast. The phone is flawless, but the new camera is a hair sharper. The car runs great, but this year's styling is a little nicer. The couch is fine. You're just tired of looking at it. Every one of those feels like an upgrade. Everyone is actually wealth destruction wearing a progress costume. So minimalists set a hard line. You do not replace something that still does its job. And the numbers are brutal. The average person swaps phones every 2 to 3 years, usually while the old one works completely fine. Over 30 years, that one habit can quietly burn $30,000 to $50,000. Stack it across cars, TVs, furniture, and gadgets, everywhere upgrade culture operates. And the lifetime waste can sail past 200 grand for newer versions of things you already had. Boredom isn't failure. A newer one existing isn't failure. Actual breakdown is failure. Everything else is an ad. Rule 4, build friction for spending and ease for saving. Humans always drift down the path of least resistance. So if spending is easy and saving is hard, you'll spend. The move is to flip which one is easy. Add friction to spending, delete the shopping apps off your phone. Wipe your saved credit card numbers so every purchase makes you go find the card. Unsubscribe from every flash sale email. And put a 24-hour wait on anything non-essential. See it today, buy it tomorrow if you still want it. Now, make saving frictionless. Automatic transfer into your investments the instant you get paid before the money ever hits your spending account. Treat saving like rent, a fixed bill that comes out first, not whatever's left over because we both know nothing's ever left over. And here's why this beats just have more discipline. Willpower drains as the day goes on. By 9 p.m., tired and stressed, your willpower is gone. And that's exactly when the impulse buy strikes. But your setup never gets tired. You don't have to be stronger. You have to be set up better. And here's the quietly beautiful part of automating your saving. After a couple of months, you stop missing the money. Your brain adjusts to whatever lands in your spending account. So if the saving comes out first, you just build your life around the smaller number painlessly. You're not white knuckling a budget. You simply never see the money you're saving, so you never feel like you're giving anything up. That's the whole difference between a system and a diet. One runs on autopilot, the other runs on willpower until it breaks. Rule 5, count your stuff. Yes, literally count it. Sounds a little unhinged. It works. Counting forces awareness, and awareness is what stops the pile from quietly growing while you're not looking. Pick a category, count it. Write the number down. The numbers tend to shock people. How many shirts do you own? Most folks guess low and find 3 or 4 times what they thought. Pairs of shoes, kitchen gadgets, coffee mugs, books you'll genuinely never open again. Here's the magic of the number. Once you know you own 47 shirts, shirt number 48 feels completely different. You're not buying a shirt anymore. You're taking your collection from 47 to 48, and the absurdity becomes visible. Minimalists take it further and set a ceiling. Maybe 30 pieces of clothing total. Maybe a one in, one out rule. Nothing new comes in unless something old goes out. Those limits quietly kill lifestyle creep because suddenly every new thing has to win a fight against something you already own. Rule 6: rent or borrow before you buy. Because here's the dirty secret of most purchases: they get used intensely for about 2 weeks, the newness wears off, and then they join the graveyard of things you own but never touch. So, test it first. Want to get into camping? Rent the gear for your first few trips. Thinking about woodworking? Borrow tools or hit a makerspace. Want a kayak? Rent one a handful of times before you ever buy. This does two huge things. One, it tells you whether your excitement is real or just a passing phase, and a lot of interests fade fast once the novelty's gone. Two, it shows you exactly what you actually need. So when you finally do buy, you buy the right thing instead of guessing. Because a buy first, figure it out later is what fills American garages with the dusty ghosts of abandoned hobbies. The skis from the winter you swore you become a skier. The guitar from the band that played exactly 2 shows. Don't turn your home into a museum of who you thought you become. Rule 7: understand the lifestyle multiplier. Every possession you buy is secretly connected to other possessions. A purchase that looks like one thing actually triggers a whole cascade of supporting purchases. Watch it happen. A boat doesn't cost a boat. It needs a trailer, a vehicle that can tow it, a hitch, storage fees, cleaning supplies, safety gear, life jackets, and the right clothes. A pool isn't a pool. It's chemicals, a cover, cleaning equipment, new furniture, and often landscaping to make it look right. So that $5,000 purchase is quietly an $8,000 to $10,000 or maybe $12,000 purchase once the multiplier kicks in. The honest move is to calculate the whole ecosystem before you buy the centerpiece, because that full number often turns totally reasonable into obviously not worth it. And the best part, the multiplier runs in reverse. When you let go of one big possession, you don't just get its value back, shoes. You delete the entire category of costs attached to it. Sell the boat and the storage, insurance, registration, maintenance, and towing all vanish along with it. Rule 8. And if you only keep one rule, keep this one: define enough before you earn more. Here's the trap that trips up high earners again and again. They never decide what enough actually looks like. So they just keep buying, and they never arrive. Income goes up, lifestyle goes up to match. The new lifestyle becomes normal in about a month, and now they need another raise just to feel like they're moving. It's why someone pulling in 300,000 can feel just as squeezed as someone making 80. Minimalists short circuit the whole thing by drawing a finish line in advance. They decide, before the money arrives, this size house is enough. This car meets my needs. This wardrobe is plenty. Maybe a $30,000 car is enough, even when your coworkers roll up in $70,000 ones. And then, this is the whole game. Every dollar you earn above that line flows straight into saving and investing instead of more stuff. Someone who decides enough is 60 grand a year, then starts earning 150. That $90,000 gap pours directly into freedom year after year. Rule 9: measure your wealth by optionality, not accumulation. The normal way people measure wealth is by what they have: the house, the cars, the watch, the visible scoreboard of success. Minimalists measure something totally different: what they can choose. Can you walk away from a job that's quietly destroying you? Can you take 6 months off for a family emergency? Can you start a business without a guaranteed paycheck? Can you say no to money that comes with strings that violate your values? Those are wealth, and they only exist for people who've built real margin between what they earn and what they spend. The person earning 200 grand but spending 195 has almost zero optionality. They're chained to that paycheck. One bad month from panic. The person earning 80 but spending 45 has enormous optionality. They can absorb a shock, take a risk, and choose based on what they want instead of what they need. Because optionality lives in liquid money, not in possessions. Every purchase is really a trade. You're swapping a little bit of choice for an object. Rule 10: declutter in small cycles instead of one giant annual purge. Almost everyone who tries this does it wrong. They do one massive weekend clean out, feel amazing for 2 weeks, and then slowly, invisibly accumulate right back to where they started. The purge feels productive, the reaccumulation flies under the radar. 2 years later, same pile. Minimalists beat this with rhythm, not heroics. Tiny, regular reviews instead of one big event. A quick glance at what's coming in each week. One category each month. A bigger look at the trend each quarter. Pulling 3 items a week forever is easy and sustainable. Pulling 300 items once a year is overwhelming, so it just keeps getting postponed. And the cycle keeps you aware. You start seeing which moods make you buy and which exact marketing tricks work on you specifically. And notice something about all 10 of these rules, right? Not one of them is about earning more. Not one. They're all about the gap between what you make and what you spend. Because here's the math nobody wants to hear: a raise you spend changes nothing, but a gap you protect changes everything. You can chase a bigger paycheck your entire life, and if your spending rises to meet it every single time, you end up right back where you started, just with nicer stuff and the exact same stress. Now, here's what almost nobody tells you about minimalism and money: the relationship runs in both directions. Owning less makes you money, yes, but having money also makes owning less feel completely natural. Think about why people overbuy in the first place. The honest answer is usually that spending temporarily fills an emotional gap, the gap that financial insecurity creates, the need for security, the need for a little status. Buying stuff numbs it for about 20 minutes. But when your savings are solid and your investments are quietly growing, that gap starts closing on its own. You don't need the new thing to feel okay because your bank account is already telling you the story you were trying to buy. So you get a loop: spend less, save more, feel secure, want less, save even more. Each turn makes the next one easier. That's the virtuous cycle, and it builds wealth you genuinely can't build any other way. But the opposite loop is just as strong, and it's a trap. Spend everything, feel insecure, spend more to soothe it. Round and round until some shock, a layoff, an emergency, forces the breaking point. And which loop you're on matters more than your income ever will. High earners stuck in the bad loop build nothing. Modest earners riding the good loop build everything. And the research backs it up. Past a baseline of comfort, more stuff barely moves your actual happiness. Minimalists just spend enough to be comfortable, then point all the extra at freedom. Less stuff and a lot more life. Now, I know exactly what some of you are thinking. This sounds joyless. Own 3 shirts, eat rice, never have any fun. That's the biggest myth about all of this. So let me kill it right now. Minimalism isn't about owning as little as humanly possible. It's about owning exactly what earns its place and ruthlessly cutting everything that doesn't. You can absolutely spend big on the few things you genuinely love and use every single day. Buy the great mattress, take the trip. The point was never to deprive yourself. The point is to stop bleeding money on the stuff that was never making you happy in the first place, so you have more for the stuff that actually does. Less clutter, more life, not less life. Okay, enough theory. Here's exactly how to start tonight. This week, walk your home with the replacement test in your head and find 8 to 10 things you would not buy again if they vanished. Sell them, donate them, or toss them. This month, put the 24-hour rule on every non essential purchase and keep a tally. How many wants survived the wait versus how many disappeared by morning? That number quietly tells you how much of your spending was never really you. It was just impulse. This quarter, count 3 categories that pile up for almost everybody: clothes, kitchen stuff, and entertainment. Then set a ceiling on each based on what you actually used this past year. And right now, the big one: define what enough looks like. What home is enough? What car is enough? What wardrobe is enough? Write it down and read it the next time you're tempted to blow past your own line. Do this for 5 years, and the gap between your lifestyle and your income becomes a wealth building machine, one that has almost nothing to do with how much you earn. Remember those 2 apartments? The calm one, 52 grand, 18 months of savings, sleeping fine. didn't get there on a big income. They got there on clarity about what actually matters. The stressed one, 95 grand, 2 paychecks from the edge, never once questioned the idea that more stuff equals a better life. And both of those lives are available to you right now, no matter what you earn. So it comes down to one simple question: do you own your stuff, or does your stuff own you? If this made it click, hit subscribe so the next one finds you, and grab the stick budget system in the description to put real numbers behind every rule. Until next time, keep it simple and keep building.